Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my DevilNeverCry 5, Dante Must Die, S-Rank walkthrough. We're on mission 14. This will be the final V mission for my run, and it is called the Diverging point. So playing as everybody's favourite electronic synth composer Vangelis, we're now descending into this pork scratching of a level to take on a bunch of bosses we've already beaten with different characters. This is a boss rush level, the classic Capcom boss rush. The three bosses are as follows: it's Goliath, it's Artemis, and it's Cavalier guy. So, I'm going to start with Goliath, and I'm going to pick Shadow. With Shadow, I'm going to do backwards and attack to launch into the spinning spikes. I'm also going to do back forward attack as best as I can. The dodge that you want to do against this boss is the side dodge, because the jump seems unreliable without the second jump to get the height needed to survive. Goliath can sometimes be really dumb, and you can just wail on him, and Shadow does a great job of fighting, but every so often, if he lands, he just kills Shadow, and you can't Devil Trigger to revive him, so you're just kind of stuck there. One thing that is good to do here is if you infuse Shadow with Devil Trigger, he will do more damage, and I'm going to try my best to have that happen. But there we go, immediately, 20 seconds into the video, he's already dead. It's like we're playing on Hell in Hell mode already. And then the Goliath is going to get real mad and start firing fireballs at you, which you probably can parry these back if your timing's good enough, but I haven't really practiced, and it's not a good idea, in my opinion. But somebody will do it, because it's one of those cool things, isn't it? But Shadow's back in the game. When he's at a distance like this, it's best to do this move. See the damage that move just did? If you power him up with Devil Trigger and do that move, it does even more damage. Problem with this is it takes a while to do, and Shadow can be really stupid. Sometimes he'll do it far too close, and it'll end up getting him killed. But did you notice when I side dodged then? I saved him from getting hit by the fireball. And unfortunately his range was a little bit limited then, so he couldn't do what I wanted him to, but all around, I think he's doing okay. He took a big hit then and he got killed. He's now dead. He's not doing okay. He's doing the opposite of okay. And then we're left with this, and that's kind of what this video is. If this looks fun to you, perhaps I may suggest going to a theme park and queuing for a ride only to not get on it and then get back in the queue. You might have a similar type of experience. I don't know, I feel like this is just not fun. Somebody likes it. Someone in my stream said they thought this was the best boss rush mode ever, and I hope they were sarcastic, because if they weren't, it must be a fucking joy around their house at Christmas. Here we go. What is he doing? He's dead again. Come on, dude, you can get up. If you don't know, guys, in the top left, you can see that icon bleeding back into full parity. That's when he'll come back alive. If you stand closer to him, it happens quicker. But fundamentally, this is just not very fun, you know? It just isn't. Like, Shadow is really good when he wants to be, but then he just gets bitch slapped, and then there's nothing you can do. Why couldn't you activate Devil Trigger to bring him back? You don't have to summon Nightmare, you should just maybe get your hair to change back to normal or something. That's the move you want to be careful of as well. If you try to jump that move, you will almost never get out of the way of it. You have to literally be out of the way of it when it begins to ever even want to not get clipped. Which is why the side dodge is really powerful. However, I don't know if you can't do the side dodge when Shadow is dead, because the game wouldn't surprise me that that's how it works. Come on, Shadow, get him. Here he comes. Whew, very close. It's interesting too, because this is kind of like a simulation of co-op. Whenever you play co-op in games like this, they're always really fucking bullshit, because the enemy can change targeting on a whim. So it can start a combo on your friend, and you're attacking it from behind, and then all of a sudden it'll end the combo on you. And these weird moments happen where you're staring at a boss and he just kind of flicks around as he attacks and hits you instead. And that's one of the worst parts about character action games, whenever the enemy is getting confused on who to target. And I feel like the AI should complete the combo on the target that it began the combo with, and I feel like that would alleviate it, but oftentimes it's just not how it works. I don't know how the programming works and how it's done and everything, but what I do know is in Souls games, if you summon in those games, you find yourself on the receiving end of some really interesting damage that you just really didn't see coming because they did a bizarre thing and changed targets. But did you see then, we powered up Shadow and we did that spike and it did big old damage. Really big damage. He's now devil triggered though, so he's going to take even longer to get hit. And Shadow's dead again. This is the Shadow dying simulation right now. There's me doing some random taunts. Here he comes. I'm going to get hit by that. Oh, wow! Damn, that was lucky. In another time, in another place, that hit me real good. Oh, that was lucky. Bloody hell, he's being aggressive. Can you stop, dickhead? I'm only so fast. I'm wearing sandals. Anyway, go on. Get him. Get him, dude. Spike him good. It's interesting that that move is so active it doesn't parry him. Maybe you can't parry him. Who knows? I think you can parry him, though. I think I did it in the demo. You could parry his swings if you used Overture correctly. Stand near him to try and pick up the old pet. Wasn't this a fun experience? Here it comes. That was the one. Yeah. Slow that bad boy down. Probably didn't even touch me. That's the problem with that move. I seem to do this a lot in these videos. I do really well against the boss and then I get hit at the end. Always a frustrating experience. But I don't really care because it's V. We get 4,500 points. As long as I don't die, that should hopefully get elevated and be okay. The more of our familiars we get back, the easier this gets. So the first fight is always going to be the most difficult. Artemis is usually quite simple because Griffin's really strong and you can just mash Shadow to bring him down. Bring her down, sorry. And then Cavalier, it's just brutal. You will usually gangbang the guy unless you don't have Devil Trigger and both your familiars die, which can happen. And also, be careful not to pick Nightmare here. I've done that. Doing this fight without Griffin is tedious. Not the end of the world, but tedious indeed. And if you get really lucky and you can hit this thing with Shadow's spike move that he was doing against Goliath when he's standing still, you can do fantastic damage here as well. And I like Artemis. I think this boss is actually a lot better than I first gave it credit for. I feel like the more I've fought this boss, the more I've grown to like it. It's pretty simple. The only problem I have with it is that the lock-on sometimes can be really awkward to get the one you want. Which shouldn't be a problem play. Look, it did it! See that? Hit her when she was about to do it, stunned her, and did incredible damage. That was really, really good. That's the kind, and then we stunned her as well, so now we can get in there and do the whole gangbang, hopefully. Just try and hit with as best as we can. Boom! Huge damage from Shadow with that move. Couple more spikes, couple more flips. There's Griffin doing the wrong move. There's that move that can really easily hit you if you're not careful. And then there's the double laser. Somebody's died. Vertical laser into the phalanx. Oh, big laser now. The big daddy laser of them all. This is the moment where you could do some real damage if your fucking animals were alive and did what you wanted them to do. And he misses with the spike like a beast. And the creature's devil triggered now, so her defense is up. Here we go. What are we doing? Double laser. Boom. Look at that damage. So goddamn satisfying. And then he's dead. You did good though, Shadow. And they're dead too. Nothing but death. Double. Can you jump this? Oh, yes, you can. That's an interesting question, isn't it? Without the second jump. I could have taunted to get extra height, but I didn't need to. Here she comes. That's the move you really want to hit, but oftentimes will not. Big laser? No. She's doing the phalanx, the big blast. Here we go. Can we get her? Can we finish her? No. She's too durable. Too much defense. The aerial bombardment into the change. Into the glide. Easy dodge. I bet you can cane that as well. You can probably cane that move and stop her. I wouldn't recommend it though, because you need to have good timing. And then we do the Royal Fork, because V refuses to teleport correctly, because he's a twat. And there we go, boss is down. 5,000 style points. We're now well on the way to the S rank, and the next boss is the easiest and probably the one that you're going to get the most points for. Because with every familiar, this is going to get real interesting. So, glide all the way down here if you can. This is one of those fights as well, if you get lucky, you can probably do an EX provocation during this one. Because this boss is so completely enraptured by your animals that I don't think he really comes for us too much at all. So it gives you a lot of... Look at the parries as well! I'm not even meaning to do any of those, but it's really interesting that they're happening. The tooltip even mentions If you swing at the right time against this boss, you will parry him, and they want you to do that. It seems like it's one of the mechanics that they were really proud of, to kind of fight him with aggression. And I'm really looking forward to showcasing that at a later date when I'm good at doing it. Because the first time I beat him, I just jump cancelled and did a bunch of revolvers and kept parrying him like that. Here we go. It's charging up. Oh wow, look at the... Oh my goodness, the one time Nightmare does the good thing. He did the full beam laser and stunned him. That was amazing. That's the only time I'm ever going to compliment that dumbass monster. There's the big lightning to get his shit back. I should really dodge with Shadow to get him out of the way of this. Hey, he moved anyway. Good for you, Shadow. That was sick. Then we do the big move. It opens his cape, but it doesn't do damage because he blocked it. And then he's stunned. Get him with the air raid. Go for the launch combo. He runs away. This would be a great moment to have Nightmare do the same thing. Here's his lasers, and he's firing them at me. This is the first time the boss has actively engaged me. And how long have we been fighting? You can probably EX Provocation. No doubt. Which, I should totally do that next time. Especially when Nightmare's out, because Nightmare pulls aggro like a beast. Ooh, the parry, the S rank. Here we go, guys. Get him. He's just there. Whoop his ass. But you see what I mean? Compared to like the Goliath fight, where we were running around and being frustrated, can you imagine if you could fight all the bosses with all the familiars? This section would actually be really fun. And there it was. Was that 2 no damage fights and 1 hit at the end of Goliath because his nuclear hitbox? That was a pretty good run. And 6,000, which means even if we died, we still got the S. So thankfully, we don't have to replay this mission. And if you know this mission, you'll know that it's annoying because it has a forced walking section. And it just isn't a modern game these days, is it? Until it forces us to walk down a tunnel that we want to get down quicker. Like, if you spin the camera too during the beginning of this mission, you can see that the lip syncing on V is all over the place. He looks like he's doing some kind of crazy meme face. It's kind of funny. But this is going to lead us to another one of these amethyst caves. There's also a really tricky purple orb in this room, which took me a while to find, but my stream chat helped me. My frame rate in these areas that look like bone marrow and all kinds of crazy ribs and things, always in the toilet. I always get bad frames in here. And I think it's because you do it in co-op and there's people fighting enemies, so it's generating a lot more than it normally does. I wonder if there's a feature to turn that off. It'd be really nice if I could turn that off so I could have a better frame rate and I wouldn't have to give a fuck about a fight that's happening off screen. But you probably can't. It seems like one of those features that they're kind of proud of. But a couple of these navigational moments. I'm just curious, guys, do you like these navigational moments where you destroy these red things to move these plants? Of all of the things they could have had us doing, I feel like this is easily the most arbitrary. Similar to the Needhog parasites, when you stick them in the septic vages. It's just... They could have thought of something cooler, man. Remember when you got that crazy sword in Devil May Cry 1 and then you stuck it in that crazy idol and it moved that coffin? That was cool as shit. This game doesn't have so much of that. Devil May Cry 3 did. Devil May Cry 3 had some really weird stuff, some super gimmicky stuff. This game is just... Here's a bunch of red things that open doors. Hit the red thing, open the door. And Devil May Cry's always had that, but it would have been nice to see a little bit more creativity. The level design in this game is surely lacking. But thank you for watching, and you take care now.